Starting the second part of our day with a fabulous panel called Love Who You Are. Love Who You Are is a panel on why clothes, makeup, and appearance really matter. But before we begin, we'd like to take a minute to appreciate our panel sponsor, Karen Ballou. Karen is going to speak to us about her brand, Immunicology, and also about the importance of skincare and maintaining our skin's health. So, Karen?
Thank you.
And then we have a short video.
Thank you. What I love about working with skin is I love being able to see people happy. My name is Karen Ballou. I'm a mother, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm the founder of Immunicology. I was diagnosed 8 years ago with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it was one of those moments in my life that really stopped me in my tracks. During my illness, I was thinking about what am I really going to do after I know I'm really healthy. I was working with French green clay and I knew the effectiveness. Green clay is actually the richest of all of the clays, and it has the 12 essential minerals that our own body is made up of. You know, there are thousands of products out there and the industry is so cluttered with products. And so what's really been important for me is to find ingredients that really help to balance the skin. I have found myself in a place of really understanding the skin, understanding ingredients, and understanding how ingredients work with the skin to get those results. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want to say that being able to share Immunicology with all of you is such a meaningful moment. I also have to say that the journey that I've been on to get to this place has been amazing because, you know, sometimes out of something bad comes something good. And so there are many things about Immunicology that I would love to share with you. So I want you to come by and see me, because they're going to give me the hook in just like a couple of seconds here. So I'm not going to be able to say very much, but I would love for you to come by, see me, and I'd love to share with you what Immunicology really means is about skin health. It's about the skin's immunity. And there's a few new things that I have, and one thing that I want to share with you today is that you're going to be hearing Yamuna today, and her and I have collaborated on Save This Face, and it's a ball combined with my serum, and I want you to come by and see that because there's a new way of looking at how to firm, tighten, work with the lymphatic system of the skin as well. And that's going to be something new for you, but it's also something that's old because it's something about working with the skin. Come by, take a look at it, something new. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for being here, and thank you from the bottom of my heart to be able to share Immunicology with all of you. Thank you.
And thank you, Karen, for being such an inspiration to all of us. So now our next panel moderator is Dr. Robi Ludwig, known to many of you. Robi is a nationally known psychotherapist and award-winning reporter and author of Your Best Age Is Now. Our friend Gabrielle Carlson, designer extraordinaire, and her mantra is beautiful clothes in your size, and she's owner of a beautiful Upper East Side boutique, the Gabrielle Carlson Studio. Yay. Next is Maya Bobbies, who started her career at Frederick Picai, and then she partnered with another gentleman to open the Maya Wagner Salon, also here in Manhattan. Next, we have Jade Voight. So Jade, as you'll see when she enters the stage, was Miss Virginia in 2015. She's a celebrity makeup artist and also a child actress and model. And lastly, we have coming in from Philadelphia. Is it Philadelphia?
It is.
Yeah, George Brescia, George Brescia, who has written Change Your Clothes, Change Your Life. He's a resident fashion expert, or has been on NBC's Today Show, CBS, Fox 5, a very long list. and also the official red carpet fashion critic for the Tony Awards.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about a really great topic, self-esteem and how to feel good about yourself. And we have these amazing experts here to tell us what their thoughts are about self-esteem and raising self-esteem through their expertise. So I'm going to start with the first question. What does self-esteem mean to you?
So it's very important for me to dress women that when they leave with whatever we've put together, we both know that when they put that on, they're going to feel extraordinarily beautiful. And I think that's really important because when you're feeling beautiful, you have at your disposal an emotional generosity. You just feel so good you can exude that and be that. And to dress women to feel that is what inspires me.
Beautiful. Well, we know what creates low self-esteem, having a bad hair day. So
It's true. Hair, it's the most important accessories you have. So having a beautiful hair makes you feel beautiful. Having beautiful hair makes you feel beautiful, comfortable with yourself, and definitely a great haircut, a good color. It gives you more confidence. It makes you feel good and more beautiful. And you feel good about yourself, and then you go out there and you approach things different. And definitely, it's one of the most important things that you can do. It's getting your hair done, and it will build your confidence to the roof.
Yes, I could not agree more. It's really important. Jade, what is self-esteem to you through the lens of makeup and your expertise?
Yes, I think makeup is a great self-esteem enhancer. When you feel great, you're happier, and I think being great to other people really makes you feel great, right?
Yeah.
And feeling your best helps you do that. So whether it's taking 10 minutes for yourself in the morning to help you feel great, or whether it's working with my clients and just helping them relax or prep for the show that they're doing or whatever they have going on that day, I think it's really important to be kind to yourself, because then it helps you have more self-esteem.
Totally agree. George?
Well,
Mr. Red Carpet.
yeah,
so-
as the minority in the room, I would say this. First of all, I love women, and I admire them, and I respect them because I don't know how you do it. Your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your wives, and then everybody wants you to be everything to them all the time. So when I meet women and they come to me and they want to be dressed and they want to figure out what their style is, their self-esteem usually when we start sometimes can be kind of low, and they're kind of nervous, and they're confused. What do I do? Who am I? What do I want to say? Why does everyone look cuter than me? Why, when I go to pick my son up, from soccer practice, all the other mothers look really cute, but I just look kind of schleppy, and it's like, I don't necessarily care where they've been. I take them where they want to go. And I also think that self-esteem, what it means to me in the styling, very similar to you, to all of you, is that to help them discover themselves and really love who they are, so that when they leave me, they look and feel completely different, and that is my favorite part of what I do.
Yeah, I think self-esteem too, George, that was wonderful, really. I think part of self-esteem from a psychological perspective is finding the different selves that you have within yourself and allowing those selves to blossom. And I think when we find a different self through makeup, through having our hair done, through the right outfit, it's like we look at ourselves differently and those around us differently, which is why this is so powerful. What do you see women struggle with the most in terms of feeling good and as good as they want to feel? George?
I think they really struggle with, their look, their clothes. Like I think that, and how their clothes make them feel. You know, because obviously that's what I do. I'm a stylist. So it's like they know how to get really dressed up, and then they know how to not be dressed up at all, right? You know, just kind of like running around. But what I think is so interesting is they discover, you know, getting a sense of style and their own style and kind of what that is. And when they kind of can figure out what that is and what they want to say. I mean, here's the thing. You know, we have to wear clothes, right? By law, we can't go naked.
Most of us.
Most
do.
of us.
Most
Depends
of us
on where you
do.
are, but usually you got to wear clothes. So for me, I'm always about, why don't you have everything in your closet be a 10? A 10, 1 to 10, a 10. So that you feel like your closet is your toolbox. And when you wake up in the morning, you're like, yes, I've got everything I need, as opposed to, oh, I hate my clothes, I hate my closet, I hate it all, I don't even want to deal with today. How are you going to have a good day? There's no way. So for me, it's like, it's just instilling all of that, you know, and really kind of perpetuating that.
That's great. We need our tools. It really does help. Jade, in terms of makeup, what do you see women struggling with the most when they want to feel good or feel good about their looks?
Yeah, I find that we're so busy. Everyone is so busy, and we never have 5-10 minutes to ourselves. And just that few minutes throughout the day, to whether you're wearing makeup or just doing your skincare, is really, really important. We can't control everything in our lives, but we can try to make just a few minutes for ourselves to make ourselves feel better, whether it's just staring at ourselves in the mirror and doing our skincare, or whether it's reshaping our eyebrows, or something as simple as that. It really can go a long ways.
Is there a common complaint you hear?
Yes. Make my jaw look skinnier. Make my jaw look skinnier. I drank too much last night and I'm a little bloated. And that's okay. We all go through it. You're never alone. You're never alone. And that brings me a lot of comfort to know that everyone goes through that too.
How to not look hungover.
Yeah. A little concealer, a little contour. You're good to go.
Maya, how about you? What's the biggest complaint women have in terms of their hair and not feeling good? Because I know our hair is really linked to our femininity as women. It really helps us to feel sexy and empowered. And when our hair is not right, and through different stages, our hair does change. And we do have a strong reaction to that.
Yes, I feel like majority of women, they also afraid of change, especially after certain age. They get attached to one style, and our face change, the body, everything. So I feel like they need to ask their stylist for, you know, the best. Or I'm not saying that they have to go for the latest trends, but there are definitely way of, you know, great haircut. If your hair gets a little thinner, few layers, something that frame the face, it can definitely make you look much better. And take care of your hair. Like embrace, a lot of women, they try to fight their hair. So if they have curly hair, frizzy, now there are a lot of tools, treatments that makes the hair shinier, control the frizz, and it's better to embrace your curls than just fight it and getting a blow dry every day straight, and because that takes time, and after a while, it's not even looking great, like, you know, and so there are many ways of they do complain, of course, everybody complains, but lately it's about hair loss. Between the pandemic, we don't know what's the cause, but I will say 90% of the customers, they complain about losing their hair. So there are vitamins out there, like I said, a great color, different treatments, a good haircut definitely will change the way
So
your
it
hair
sounds like,
looks.
in part, educating yourself.
Educating yourself.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's instead of fighting your hair, try to embrace it. And there are like great products out there and treatments that makes it look and helps you style your hair easier, and you achieve the best look, and you can enjoy your hair.
I know we were talking when we had our meeting before this conference. You said dressing well is the best revenge. And I'd like you to expand on that, but also to talk about what women struggle with specifically.
There's not a day goes by in my shop where someone doesn't come in with some body issue. Yesterday, we dressed someone who looked breathtakingly beautiful. Her husband was there, her son was there, we were there. And she looked and she was like, my tummy, I can see my tummy. And we were like, we all looked and we were like, I was like, you have to really make a choice. Either you're going to have a wonderful time looking gorgeous and being that, or you're going to spend the evening worried about a tummy that no one else can see but you, but it's bigger than everything. You have to get beyond what isn't, or what you think you've lost, or what have you about your bodies. So you want to say to people, leave it at the door, but it's not that simple, because so much of what they aren't has become who they are, and they have a hard time getting beyond it. But when they do, it's just the best thing in the world, because they've had a shift and greater happiness is theirs. And they wear it, it's heaven.
It's liberating. I
Beyond.
love what you said. How many women can relate to this idea that they identify with what they've lost or
Yeah.
what they don't have, and that becomes their identity, especially as women change throughout the years?
We had just finished dressing a woman who had a very big position, wielded enormous influence and power, and was married to someone who just left her for someone their daughter's age. And she had just found out that they were all going to be at this big event at this very well-known spot. And she was beside herself. And she was very tall. And she ended up, she looked wonderful. And as she walked up to present, got this acclaim, and everyone was just happy to see her like that. And she turned and said, clothing is the best revenge.
I love that. I think we can all clap to that. George, what role does midlife play in terms of impacting a person's self-esteem and sense of being beautiful?
I think that some women, like we're talking about embracing everything, right? I think that some women embrace age and they do everything they can for themselves, whatever that means in terms of taking care of themselves. And so they kind of can be sort of comfortable in their own skin. But I think a lot of women struggle with, I don't want to look like I'm trying to look like my daughter. Or I don't want to look like I'm trying to look young, but yet I want to look young. I want to feel young. So how do you do that? I think that I see that struggle. And so I think that what happens is you need, I think objectivity sometimes. And someone can say, maybe this hair, this makeup, this piece of clothing, this kind of style. And to help them discover what this body and personality and being wants now. Not what they wanted when they were in their 20s, but and I think that when, it's interesting. Every time I dress someone, I don't say a word. I put something on them, they look in the mirror, I don't say anything. Then they look at me and they go, oh, yeah, that's good. That's really good. They don't know why, but I do, so that's okay. And then I'm like, look at the color, look at the silhouette. There's so many ways that we can take care of ourselves. And I think we're all saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently, right? But we're all saying the same thing. And I love what you were saying, Gabriella. I think that the whole bottom line for me is you have to take time for yourself every day to connect to yourself. What am I going to wear? How am I going to do my hair? What am I going to do with my makeup? And do it all and take your time. Because when you're doing that, you are connecting to yourself. When you're not doing that, what happens? You're running around in your Lululemons. You're running around in your sweatpants. You're throwing your hair up in a ponytail. There's no makeup, right? And listen, it's not for the other people. It's not for the other women. It's not for the other men. It's for you. And that's a big deal. And when you do that, you connect yourself. We've just come out of this pandemic. What happened in the pandemic? We weren't wearing makeup. We weren't getting dressed. We weren't doing our hair. What happened? We were disconnecting from ourselves. And now, today, you all got dressed. You all did your hair, everyone did their makeup, everyone looks gorgeous, but most importantly, you feel good. Why? Because you took the time to connect to yourself because you knew you were coming here. I think you can do that all the time. And it's not a big deal. Throw on a pair of jeans, make sure they're the cute jeans. Throw on a sweatshirt, make sure it's the cute one in the right color that makes your eyes look blue. You know, throw your hair up in a ponytail, a little lash, a little lip. I'm just gonna tell you this one thing because it's hilarious. Sometimes when I go to people's houses and I do their closets, you know, we go through everything and sometimes I'll pull out something and I'll be like, girl, what is this? And she's like, oh, that's what I wear when I just go walk the dog. You're not invisible. We see you. And did you want to date on Saturday night when you're walking the dog? Put on the cute jeans, put on the cute sweatshirt, let's do a pony, a little lash, a little lip. You're gonna have a date. Hello. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think we could all applaud that. Yep. And I also think, too, George, when we aren't taking care of ourselves, we want to hide. And that increases our sense of loneliness and disconnection. But I have found when I've worn a bright color, people respond to me, and I'm having conversations with strangers in New York City and having the best time, but it helps you to be more social.
It totally does, and that's my other favorite story. So I'm on QVC, and I say this on QVC all the time because it's hilarious, but it's so true. So, you know, you're at the grocery store, you're wearing one of those, oh, I'm just going to the grocery store to pick up some stuff, I gotta get back home to dinner. And you don't think anyone sees you. And then you see your best girlfriend or your boss's wife, and you're like, oh shit, I'm running the other way.
Yeah.
But when you have something cute on, and you just had a blowout, and maybe, you know, you have a little, like, maquillage, a little makeup on, guess what? You run right up to that, hey girl, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
What are you doing tonight? You're like, because you know you feel cute. And I just think that you can do that all the time, but it doesn't have to be like a big deal. It's like what I call exercising the fashion muscle. That's what I call it.
Yeah, I love it. So Maya, women in midlife and hair, we know that things happen as a result of midlife. What do you see women struggling with other than the hair loss? Is there anything else that they struggle with that you see?
Yes. Sometimes color, either they tend to go a little bit too light, thinking like, oh, I don't need to color my hair as often because then you don't see the gray. And sometimes you need a little contrast. Yeah, you can go as blonde as you want, but you know, as we get older, we don't wear as much makeup, and the eyebrows start to get faded a little bit. So we need a little bit of richness. Definitely, hair becomes a little bit drier, weaker, since we get more gray and we color it more, and we're losing more hair. So the baby hair, so that we need more treatments. Products that add shine, not necessarily a lot of hairspray and all that. So just let the hair be free. And like I said, a great haircut, you know, change everything. Some women, they embrace their grays, which is amazing if they look good.
And that's a new
It's
trend,
actually,
right?
yes.
Women embracing their gray hair and asking, does it age them? Does it age them, do you
Well,
think?
not all the time, but if they do, I mean, everything else age. So I just, if it looks beautiful, I think it's better not to color it and not to fight it.
Yeah.
Some women, they look amazing with gray hair, with white hair. So we do recommend if they love it, especially with the pandemic, they had the time to let it grow.
play.
And they felt more comfortable. And if they love it and they feel good about themselves with the white hair, we definitely say, yeah, you should.
Go for
Go
it.
for it.
Jade, you work with midlife women in television, and you are putting on their makeup before they go on the air.
Yes.
Is there something you do for the midlife woman that brings out their beauty? We have talked about the role of powder and how it can go
Yes.
into the crease
Yes.
lines, and how midlife women do have a strong reaction to that.
Yes. I would say less powder, more skincare, and a nice silky foundation, so you have this plumpness and this glow to you, because everyone loves that. Who doesn't like to look fresh and beautiful and happy? So I would say less powder. If you have to have powder, I would say maybe in your T-zone, a little under your eyes, but not heavy. You could do a translucent or a setting powder. And because you don't want to look too heavy. You want to be able to see the blood in the skin.
Yeah, be more revealing and authentic.
Exactly,
I think
exactly.
people are looking for authenticity at every stage. You know, they want to be themselves, but they want to feel like their most beautiful self.
Yeah.
For the most part. But there are those people who, you know, part of self-esteem is coming to terms with all the different aspects of who you are. So it's the ones you like and making peace and getting comfortable with things you don't like about yourself, having a sense of humor about it. But in some ways, you are all therapists in your all respective fields. So if someone is displaying low self-esteem, Gabrielle, and they are engaging in a self-attack. I look ugly, I don't feel good, I can't imagine finding anything for myself. What do you do for this type of client that is very negative about the process and themselves?
If someone that went through a lot in their life, cancer and with the chemo, you want to make them comfortable as possible. Hair grows back, so we always tell them that.
Yeah.
And if they have to wear a wig, that makes them more comfortable and feel better about themselves. We all for it. Extensions, whatever it takes. I think anybody needs help with anything, and any little thing that makes you more beautiful and happier, go for it.
I kind of feel like change your hair, change your life. I remember when I went through just like a very difficult time and I cut off my hair and I felt liberated and I just wanted to feel different. Like I wanted to recognize the difficulty. And so very often people will change their hair when they want to welcome a new chapter in their life.
Oh, yeah, and I think it's good. Every couple of years, it's
Yeah.
good to have a change.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of women, they do have one style all their life, and sometimes it works, but a lot of times it's time for change, and don't be afraid. You know, a lot of them is like, oh, I'm too old to have longer hair. If the hair is healthy and beautiful, and is a tall woman, why not? I mean, change colors, going a little crazier with colors.
Mm-hmm.
If that's their personality and that makes them happy, why not? It's change is good.
Mm-hmm.
In any form, and especially with hair.
I agree. I agree. I know you work with a philosophy. It's like you're so wise. I feel like everything you say can be a hashtag. So is there a philosophy you really think about or abide by when you're working with different people?
So, you know, I dress women in their own size or sizes. Age is not. So the thing is everyone's got something beautiful. And to be able to find that and pull that out and exemplify it, that's who they really are, more than any of this mishigas about what they aren't, or they've had cancer, they don't have breasts, they're not whole, whatever. Everyone's got something. And if you can just have them be whatever they love, that you can sense, that everyone else sees that about them first, and it's what they leave with. And in their mind, just for a moment or two, it's who they become. And they only know themselves as what's beautiful. Mm-hmm. You see that glow. You talked about how well happiness looks. There's nothing we wear better. Mm-hmm. So if you can play to that and have it be the loudest there is about them, that they resonate as their, I know it sounds trite, but as their very best selves, everyone else is going to go with it.
Yeah, it's really, and also it's one step at a time. It doesn't need to be all at once. Even if you can feel a little bit better, that's a great start because it's like building blocks. There's something called dopamine dressing that's been in the news a lot since the pandemic. And George, when you walked in, it was like a superstar in that pink suit and the tan and gorgeousness anyway. But like it lifted my mood to see you. And
So sweet.
It's not just the coloring, but the way you put it together. And I'm just wondering, what do you think about dopamine dressing? Is it a thing? Is it something
yeah.
you incorporate?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm very big, so I talk about this in my book, Change Your Clothes, Change Your Life. And, you know, I'm a stylist that, and I can tell, I think you're the same way, and I feel like you guys are the same way too with hair and makeup. You know what? I mean, listen, I know what the trends are. I really don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, I really don't. I care about what makes you look good. So I think that, you know, for me, because the compliment that you want when you wear something, I think, is, oh my God, that jacket looks amazing on you, versus, oh, I love your jacket. Okay, who cares if you love my jacket? Like, I don't care. But if I look good in it, what other colors does it come in? And I'll take them all, thank you so much. Like, so I think that, like, you know, you really have to, and, you know, figure that out. And when I dress people, I'm all about illuminating them in the right colors. So this dopamine dressing, that's really where it comes from. And if you look at film and television, and when someone's on camera, and you know this, and you know this, and you know this, you know, we have eye color, we have skin tone, and we have hair color. I like to have people in clothes that illuminate them all the time. So really accentuating all of that. So for me, it's like making sure that you're in the right color, the right silhouette. Like, what are your assets? You've got great arms, we're doing sleeveless. Oh, you don't like your arms? No problem. You have a great back, we're doing backless. Oh, you like your legs? We're doing short. You have fabulous legs. Oh, you don't like your legs? Okay, maxi, but you love your arms, sleeveless. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I come from. So, and I feel like, you know, we're all the same here this way. So I think, you know, this dopamine dressing is when you find and you're dressing in the right colors, in the right silhouettes. And here's the thing. I'll give you a little tip, okay? Free of charge. When you look in your closet, and if you go through your closet and you start pulling out the things that you get lots of compliments on, hey, every time I wear this like t-shirt that I bought at Target, everyone tells me I look great. Every time I wear this sweatshirt I bought at Zara, people tell me I look amazing. Look at the color, look at the silhouette, look at what it is, and that's gonna start to tell you about what your color palette is if you don't have one of us.
Mm-hmm. And it does impact the chemistry in your brain.
Yeah,
And
it does.
It really does.
It does
trigger the happy chemicals in your brain and feeling less stressed. So there is something about those colors and taking care of yourself that probably when you treat yourself well, you just really feel better chemically as well in your brain. So I love dopamine dressing. I love that idea.
It's really true.
Yeah. Jade, do you feel like there are certain colors you put on people that are just an instant win? People just are like, oh my God, I love this bright color.
Yes. So going to your point, we all have cool, medium, or neutral undertones. So knowing your client's undertones is knowing what colors look best on them. And that's typically the colors that everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's a great color on you, or it's gonna be similar to your eye color. And knowing that is really important. And you can just look at your veins and see what color veins you have, and it will tell you what undertone you are and how you should dress and what colors look great on you.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, look at her. You know,
Yeah.
gorgeous. So, because I'm so in awe of what you do with makeup, and I'm so in awe of what you do with hair, because I wish I could, and I don't know how. When people have like brown eyes, how do we make the eyes look browner? And when people have blue or green eyes, how do we make the eyes look blue or greener?
So complementary colors, knowing your color wheel is step one. So Walt Disney had this thing where he painted the streets red so the trees and the grass would look greener. So if you have green eyes, anything with a red undertone is gonna make them pop. Even purples will make them pop. Brown eyes, you can get away with any color you want because they're brown. It's a neutral color and they're beautiful. You have different shades of brown, of course, but any color will work.
Someone told me that people with brown eyes, it's really good if you take a terracotta and you put that on the lid. Does that sort of make them pop on camera?
Of course. Yeah. On camera versus in person, totally different. Anything with a little shimmer on it, of course, is going to make it pop on camera. Whether you have brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, whatever color eyes. But yeah, light colors work well with brown eyes.
Excellent. I'm taking that.
Yes, use
Is there
it.
dopamine hair?
Well, yes.
For me, it's keratin. It's like anything keratin. I'm like, yes.
Healthy hair is the most important. So, but definitely keratin treatments, anything that makes it smoother and shinier. The hair bounce beautiful, and I mean, we love it when we see clients who have a mirror by the elevator when they leave, and they're like getting the elevator, and the elevator is there and still looking in the mirror. And
Everybody's happier on a good hair day, for sure.
So that's the most wonderful part. But yes, it is. Definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. I know that we're getting close to ending. We have 1 minute, so I'm just going to ask my panel really quickly, what do you think the secret is to having good self-esteem in like 2 words?
Dressing that you love who you are, that you feel beautiful, and you come from that, such that everyone who sees you, that's their read of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
George-
it just resonates.
Beautiful. George?
I would say taking the time to connect to yourself every day, looking at your closet and saying, what am I going to put on that's going to say to the world what I want to say today?
I love it. We are out of time, and I know we're on a tight time squeeze, so thank you so much for joining us in our
Thank you.
fabulous
Thank you so much.